Will the newest card that is coming to Marvel Snap truly morph the meta? Let's find out as I hereby summon all my imps to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So we got a brand new card that just came out in the character spotlights, and that is Copycat. Copycat was born a mutant in New Jersey, but after her parents kicked her out, she moved to Boston. This is where she met and fell in love with the mercenary named Wade Wilson. Their love blossomed, but it was tragically short-lived when Wade ended up getting diagnosed with cancer and abandoned her one night. She fully believes that the two are meant for each other and anticipates the day that she will take all her savings and the two will run away together. Copycat eventually became a mercenary herself, but she also feared repercussions, and after only a few missions, she went into hiding to avoid any further fallout with Deadpool. She had enough of a life with a mercenary or as one, and she took on the appearance of one of her closest friends to lay low, where she became the owner of a chimichanga stand in order to watch over Deadpool, still hoping he might give up the life of a merc and that the relationship would happen again. Copycat's mutant's physiology gives her the ability to duplicate another humanoid or near-humanoid so accurately that even those closest to them have a hard time telling the difference. This includes the brain patterns, thus making it very difficult for even those with psychic powers to distinguish her from the original individual that she is impersonating. Her powers go down to the genetic level to where she can even reproduce the powers she has copied if need be. Copycat is a kind, feisty, and seductive woman who always strives to see the good in people. She is a tough woman who is almost impossible to intimidate. She refuses to display fear. She cares very much for Wade and was devastated when he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Though beautiful, she is not a vain person, and she did not care what Wade looked like. When it was obvious that Wade was going to die, she did everything she could in order to help him. Copycat is a metamorph. This ability allows her to absorb the likeness of others down to the genetic level. She is able to alter her appearance at will. She can change the color of her skin in order to camouflage herself in nearly any environment. She can copy the appearance of animals or even different species. Her ability is so great that she can even replicate the abilities and attributes of others, only having a short amount of physical contacting with them. Copycat's ability allows her to absorb the likeness of others down to the genetic level. She used this to become a mercenary, but did not like it, and now tries to not be seen. This is represented in Marvel Snap by the fact that when she shows up in your hand, it'll only be to absorb the powers of somebody else that you most likely will never see. So in Marvel Snap, what this character does is she is a 3-cost, 5-power, with the description of: when you draw this, steal the text from the bottom card of your opponent's deck. So this is Marvel Snap's first on-draw ability as far as I'm aware of. I'm very excited that this is a new ability that they're looking into, and as far as I'm concerned, this is a 5-star card. So let me go over at least some of the reasons that I believe that she is a 5-star card. Let's talk about the fact that there is rarely a card that you don't want about with this. Yes, there are some really low ones. Now, if you were to look at her just from a power stat line, she's at the same power stat line as a Sabretooth, which makes you think, oh my god, why would I ever play this card? But you're not playing it because of the stat line, you're playing it because of the ability. Yes, there are some bad things in the low end and in the high end. Like, you really don't want to get a Bast. And you really don't want to get a Hobgoblin. And on the high end, you're really not looking to get an Infinite, and you're really not looking to get a Destroyer. But even if you get an Infinite, let's say, for example, which is one of the worst options that you can get, the likelihood that your opponent is going to, A, get to the Infinite, because that is legitimately the last card in their deck now, and B, the fact that they would have put an Infinite in their deck just in hopes that it will get Copycat is slim to none. There are some great cards that work on this. The low end, you can even get something like Maria Hill. Maria Hill, which is normally not a good card. And a 1-2. I mean, it's not a bad card, let's say. Now you're getting it as a 3-5. So anything where it's bad stats for its power is really good for Copycat to become. Especially when she can become something like, let's say, an Iron Man. Anything that ends with a 0, anything that ends with a 1, anything that ends with a 2 is really great for her to become. If for some reason you hit Iron Man with this card, you've just got a 3/10 that's popping down by itself. That's a powerful card. Even if you're to look at a horrible card, for this example, let's look at Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is by none the worst card in probably all of Marvel Snap. Getting it as a 5/5 is horrible, but getting it as a 3/5 is great. There are some great cards that you can get with this, like Doctor Doom. You're getting a 3/15 at that point, because nothing is changing at the other point of that. That is huge. And even stuff like Omega Red, where normally Omega Red comes down on 4, now you're playing it a turn earlier on 3. There's really not too many cards I can see this being bad with. Even if you hit something like Hela. It's not so much you hit Hela and you're going to be able to play Hela. It's the fact that most likely your opponent's not going to be able to play Hela with this now. It's going to be the bottom card of their deck. And even if you draw it for some reason, their Hela is now muted. So if you steal a Shang-Chi, now you can play something and not have it worrying about getting hit by a Shang-Chi. And because your opponent doesn't know what you got, it's been shown that your opponent doesn't know what you got. They don't know that they're not going to get their Shang-Chi. They don't know that they're not going to get their Bob. They don't know that they're not going to get whatever card you're going to have. Like, for example, you don't want to get a Apocalypse in most situations, but even if you get this with Apocalypse, you're never going to pump it up bigger. But you also now know that your opponent doesn't have that Apocalypse. I mean, if you're going to go out of your way and play a Destroyer on turn 6 because you have it, or play a Destroyer on turn 3 because you have it, I can't help you. And again, even sometimes if you get this on turn 3, it's a 3/5, so it's not the end of the world. But if you're legitimately playing this because you got Destroyer on last turn, that's your fault, not the card's fault. This card, there's not too many cards that I can see in all of Marvel Snap that exist right now where you are too upset with this card becoming. There are not too many cards I can see in the near future where you're going to be upset with this card becoming. Yes, there are outliers. Yes, there will be ones that make no sense. If you go on turn 6 and your opponent just is playing a regular Hulk for some odd and inexplicable reason, a 3/5 is not great. But when's the last time you've seen somebody play a regular Hulk? So, there is truly not a bad card in this particular that Copycat can become. For this week is a solid week. Besides Copycat, you have Coal Obsidian. Coal Obsidian is one of, if not the best 4-drops that you can run sometimes. The restriction on getting this down is so low that you can almost play it with just 1/1 in your deck and be okay with it. This is one of the strongest cards, and its restriction is almost nothing. The other card in this particular week is Thanos. Thanos is taking a little bit of a siesta right now. He's going to go sit in the corner for right now. But there is going to be a point soon, relatively soon, if not already starting to come around right now, where Thanos is going to be a meta card again. No matter what we do to Thanos, he keeps coming back. So for this particular week, if you've got the ability, go 3 keys deep, go 4 keys deep. This is one of the weeks. If you have Thanos, still go 3 keys deep. If you have Coal Obsidian, still go 3 keys deep. The only time I would not suggest going 3 keys deep is maybe if you have Coal Obsidian and Thanos. And even with that, I might still try it because that's how good I think Copycat is. I doubt this card is ever coming down. I don't know how they would change this card other than taking a few points off of it. Make it a 3-4 or a 3-3, but even as a 3-3, this card wouldn't be bad if it hit the right thing. Alright, let's go see what I actually get out of the box for this week. Since I actually do already have Coal Obsidian and Thanos, I am really hoping for Copycat, or one of the few cards I'm still missing. Alright, let's see what we get though. Boxes. Thanos. Alright, I've already done Thanos. I did Thanos relatively recently. So I'll try to figure out some other card to do for this weekend. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.